Hi Stampers! Nicole Turrell from Be Creative with Nicole here today with another fun video. Today I'm going to show you a technique that I'm kind of calling like a color smash. I'm going to use Over the Rainbow, and it's a really cool technique you use with, I use watercolor paper for this, and it was just an idea I had seen on Pinterest where they took ink and they smashed it into their paper. And so I thought with Over the Rainbow that would be really fun to do a rainbow of colors with. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. So I've got a piece of watercolor paper here, and it's cut 4 inches by 5 1/4 so that I can put it on a card base. And it's really simple supplies. I've got a mister with water. I've just got a piece of window sheet here, and then I also have just an old clear stamp case, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually layer color on here and then pick it up with this and then add it to my paper. Okay, so also I've got black embossing powder because I'm going to emboss my sentiment. So I've got Versamark as well, and then I've got my rainbow of colors. You could either do the ink on your plastic with a re-inker or with your ink pad, and I've got an ancient, as you can tell, very old Real Red re-inker. And you just add, let's get started, we'll just add a drop of color, and then I spritz it a little bit, and it makes it spread. And then, let's try not to get the card. And then you just layer on, let me show you here, you just layer on your window sheet and kind of smash it around on the ink. That's why I'm calling this color smash, or color smearing. And then you take it and you layer it onto your paper. And with this being watercolor paper, it obviously absorbs it really quick, but it also allows you kind of just to move it around. So you kind of just pick up off your case and kind of move it around how you want and smash the ink into your paper. So we'll start out with that. Let me grab a towel so I can wipe off. I forgot about that. So I've just got an old towel that I always use for stamping. So you just wipe off that color and we'll move on to another one. So I'm going to make this like a rainbow. So I'm going to go onto orange, do a drop of color. Move this out of the way for a sec. Let's add some water to it. Then we'll go back in and smear it around a little bit, pick it up. So I'm just going to go around the card and add color and kind of blend it a little bit with the red. And just kind of put it however. And I kind of like this cool look it gives you when you get the unusual bits of color there where it's not, I don't like it being perfect. I like that, organic look, I guess is the best way to put it. Okay, so let's move on to yellow. And then also, something to keep in mind with this when you're doing it is how your colors are going to blend. You don't want your colors to muddy up. So it's good to use colors that are going to work well together. You don't want to have pretty colors that turn into brown together. So keep that in mind. Because I know, like, when I did a card like this before I decided to do this tutorial, I did a card to test it out. And I used Wisteria Wonder because I couldn't find my Raspberry inker. And I didn't like the way it looked. Because I'll show you the card on my blog, but it kind of almost has a gray tone to it, and so this time for the video I'm doing Raspberry because I did find the inker. Okay, so I'm just kind of doing the rainbow colors, but I'm going to group them around one side, then do the next on the other. So I'm doing, by the way, that was Real Red, this is Tangerine Tango, and this is Daffodil Delight. I'm going to use Wild Wasabi for this one. And I'm just going to work my way around the card, layering on the color. It's cool how you can pick it up and it just kind of goes on there however which way. And you can blend it in a little bit, or you can leave it more organic looking, or however you want. And I like how the colors kind of form together and blend. Alright, still 2 more colors. So next I've got Pacific Point for my blue. So we'll do one spritz there. Ooh, I like that. I kind of gave a little spritz on my paper. That was unexpected. Okay. So let's layer in some blue here. And the cool thing about this, it doesn't matter really how perfect you are, because it's just kind of you're playing with it. Let's add a little to the green too. Okay. Boy, that gave one little drop of blue, gave a ton of blue. Okay. One more. Let's do our raspberry. Oops, I got 2 drops. That's going to be a really bold color. Let me kind of hold this to the side. Okay. Oh, that's definitely a bold purple. Alright, and another way, actually you could even probably use a clear block if you want to, but it's not going to be as flexible as this as far as like laying it on the paper, but it would certainly pick it up. Okay, so there we go. Alright, I think we'll leave it at that. And I'm going to have a picture of both these cards on my blog. The first one I tried out, and then this one. So, okay, so once we've got that, here's our card. But really quick, before we can do any embossing on this, we need to dry it. Okay. Here we go, that's much better. Okay. Now we'll do our sentiment real quick. I'm using God Gives Us Rainbows to remind us of hope, because I think that's a really cool little sentiment. And with this rainbow of colors, let's just plop it right in the middle there. And we'll emboss this. I used to never keep my embossing powders in a little container like this. I just would do it over paper and then pour it back into the container, but into the original container. But then when I started this, I was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I do that like 500 years ago? That was so much of a time saver. Okay, so we're going to emboss this really quick. Okay. There we go. And of course, with it being watercolor paper, it does flex and bend a little bit, but I'm going to adhere it down really good. I'm actually going to grab from my drawer Fast Fuse that I forgot to put over here, and we'll put it on the card with this, because this is how I'm just keeping it simple like this. I may add in some sequins or something, but we're going to adhere this thing down like as solid as we can to keep it from bowing on the paper. So I just got to make sure I get it in the right place, because once this Fast Fuse is on, it's on. So I'm going to use Pacific Point because I love how the blue looks with this rainbow. Alright, and there you go. I think I will, in the finished product, I'll add some sequins in, but that is it. A really super fast and fun watercoloring technique where you just use your reinkers, a splash of water, and some watercolor paper. So I hope you enjoyed this quick little tutorial, and give it a try. Thanks so much for joining me today, and we'll see you next time.